Hello, guys, and welcome back to Sports Cubby here. I have Rishi with me here, and we're going to start talking about the transfer window because I think we know football season's over. When football season gets over, for me personally, I really get excited about the transfer window because I feel like this is the time when football clubs, can get stronger, can improve from what the team had last year. And it's just me as a fan, bro. Like, for me, this is like a special time because there's so many rumors going around. There's so many exciting players your club is linked to, and it also looks like, okay, they might be buying some good talent for the future. And I think overall, the transfer window sets you up how you as a fan feel going into the new season. Obviously not really that the transfer window is the deciding factor if you're going to win the title or not. But if you really look at it, if you are there as a club competing for the best players in the world, if you are there as a club, buying the best young talent and going into a season, I think that's as a football club, as a football fan, that's the best way to see, okay, if what the feeling will be going into the season. And I think that's where we are right now. Maybe it's early days, we can say, but because of the Club World Cup, which we will talk about soon, the reason the Club World Cup came, we had an early transfer window where a lot of Premier League clubs, did their big transfers very early, right? For example, let's just dive into Liverpool, since they're the champions. I think we can just look at what they did this season. Even though they're not playing the Club World Cup, they did lose a major player, for them in terms of Trent Alexander-Arnold, and they did go quickly, swiftly, and replace him. It's not like they were going into this transfer window not knowing who will be the new right back, right? They went in, they bought by like Leverkusen's right back, Jeremy Frimpong for around 35 million euros, if I'm not wrong. So it was a
Hmm.
quick, swift deal for them. And apart from that, they also have bought, Milo Kirkes from AFC Bournemouth, who is a left back and who I think will primarily be replacing Andy Robertson because through the transfer rumors, he has been linked away from a move from Liverpool to Atletico Madrid. We should see if that materializes or not. But I think the biggest transfer news for Liverpool and Liverpool fans is they themselves breaking their own transfer record and buying Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen again, and Frimpong's teammate for what, around 100 million pounds and another 15 million pounds in addition if bonuses come through. So that's a huge investment, bro. Like, transfer window, let's say technically it's been open for 20 days and they've already filled in three positions. Right back being a major gap for them, left back being something like a future proofing if Robertson leaves or not, and then getting, let's say for them, their statement signing for the season in terms not only for them but even for a Premier League, for the entire Premier League, getting in Florian Wirtz, a young superstar who helped Leverkusen beat Bayern to the Bundesliga title last year. So I think we can just start off that. What do you think, Rishi, as a rival fan? What do you think? You know, what do you look at Liverpool's transfer window and see? Okay, how do you
I
feel
mean,
about?
that Coutinho fee certainly doesn't seem to end at any point, bro. How much? Coutinho fee is what, 140. They're spending every summer at this point. Of course, I think last year they didn't,
Bro, that
but
Coutinho money got
yeah,
overpaid as
exactly.
well.
Exactly.
I don't
No, no,
think Klopp
that's
can
that's
be
the thing.
talking about
That's
that
the
so.
thing. Most of the pool fans talk about. No, oh, this is just the Coutinho
Yeah,
money.
bro,
This is
net
just the
transfer spend, bro. This
yeah,
new
net
term they
exactly.
invented.
But yeah, I mean, it's very, at least last summer, like when their new
They
coach
didn't
came
really
in,
buy any
they didn't
players.
they didn't exactly they didn't buy any players, and they pretty much stuck to the same team. And their management, their ownership faced a lot of criticism for that from Liverpool fans, because rightfully so, because you are giving your manager very little of his own to work with. Of course, these are top players who have been winning things for a while now, but there were rumors about their big players leaving. Like, the contract situations were, nobody knew what was going to happen. So it was somewhat of a mess at that point. But fair play to them, they've come in, they've spent big money. They're not waiting around like towards the end of the window. They've identified their targets. They're moving very, very swiftly towards it. And big pressure on Florian Wirtz, bro, because I can't remember many like 100 million, 90, 80, whatever, like, these big money signings that have been hits. Like, how many? I can maybe think of Van Dijk and Allison. Like, otherwise, you have your Grealishes, your Pogbas, your Lukaku's of, like, I, for me at least, I don't think have been able to live up to their price tag. So, big pressure on him. He'll have to hit the ground running already. And I kind of want to see where he'll fit in, also how he'll, like, where exactly he'll play, because there are rumors that Darwin Nunes leaving. There are rumors that Luis Diaz wants to leave. So I mean, you don't pretty much know how the team is going to set up. So it's going to be very, from a rival fan, it is somewhat concerning for me, seeing them move very swiftly, because okay, United did sign Cunha, but we still have a lot of gaps that are left to be addressed, and kind of looking like we're like United are moving how they usually move in the transfer window. But from a neutral perspective, it is looking very exciting for Liverpool. I can't lie.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, bro, I think so. We can say that. I mean, to be fair, if I ideally look at it, it is a bit of both. They are losing. If, for example, you look at right now, they will be losing two of the most experienced players in defense. They will lose, Trent, as we saw. They will also lose someone like Andy Robertson if the
Andy
rumors are
Robertson.
true. So I think losing two, I would say one of the golden players for them in this generation of this Klopp generation where they played high ultra pressing football and attacking football with even the fullbacks bombing up front. Losing such a major, centerpieces on both left and right flanks, I think for me it is huge pressure for guys like Kirk, as guys like Frimpong coming and filling those shoes. I think we on paper it looks nice right now in terms of, okay, they've already gotten three players. It sounds good for them, but I think when we look at the Premier League, it will be a bit of adjusting period for, at least for me, with the guys like Worth, guys like Fimpong,
Frimpong, yeah.
even to an extent Kirkes, because he's going to play a different role when you're playing for Liverpool. uh,
Mm.
and we'll have to see how it works out for them, because you're coming from, let's say you're coming from a club like Bournemouth. I'm not saying, in terms of footballing level, it's a huge difference, because he's played in the Premier League. He's played had a pretty decent season, but then is the roles going to be the same when you're playing for Liverpool? Because you know how exposed they are for guys like Trent, guys like Andy Robinson. I've seen them exposed and trying to hold the left hand side, right hand side for the most of it. Uh,
Mm.
Andy Robertson did well for a long time, but even the last season, I think he struggled a bit, but he was great for most of the season. Trent, we've seen defensively, he struggled a lot. So again, Frimpong, from what I've seen, he isn't the best defender, if I have to be honest. So him coming, can Liverpool fans say we've got him better in attacking phase? I don't think that much, because I think Trent's uh, biggest gift was his crossing, the way he could pass the ball, which they will lose a lot, like Liverpool. Uh, and I think that will also affect Salah more, because they don't have that early ball which Trent used to always play Salah now. Now who's going to play the early ball? It's not really anyone from the defense who can do that. And Frimpong defensively, I think he I wouldn't say he's bad, but he's equal to what you would get from Trent. It's nothing solidifying from Trent, nothing different from Trent, like in terms of defensive concern. So I think I would say as champions, the intent is great, what I've seen from them in terms of the backroom staff going, identifying whatever talents they think are the right players for them. But I wouldn't, for me personally, looking at the transfers, I would say, like, I don't think they've taken a huge jump where, okay, now the league has to catch them up by making huge investments. I think if other teams, if the rivals make, the right adjustments, maybe it's going to be easier for them. But yeah, I think again, moving from that, I think I would just go to like Arsenal, because I think they came second last year, right? And
Mhm.
yeah, bro, and that's what's been disappointing for me this season, because going into last season there was a need for another attacking player. I wouldn't just say striker, but going into last season, I thought and I told like we need another other attacker. It was very well known that Arsenal needed another attacker. We really didn't address that issue last year. Didn't buy anyone, didn't add any new player. Coming into this season, it's been the same thing because like we've almost finished a month of the transfer window, even though we have another couple of months. I would have wanted Arsenal to go and finish off an attacking signing more than anything else because it's been a long overdue. In terms of either a striker or a winger, I think it's needed for a while, and that's been a bit disappointing in terms of okay, we've not gotten the striker done early, or we've not gotten a winger done early. Because if that happened, I think we could have gone into the season knowing at least our attacking unit has gotten a bit better from last season. Going into preseason, we would have at least known as fans, like, okay, still young, the transfer window thing is still young. They might get in new transfers. We'll have to see that. But apart from that, yeah, I think we have signed Kepa, if I'm not wrong, as a backup keeper, and we've
Backup
signed
keeper,
someone.
yeah.
Yeah, and we have signed
Zubimendi.
Zubimendi as our new midfield, which I think for me at least it's a bit exciting. Again, for me, that's how I would want to see how they translate into the Premier League. Like whatever new signings are there, like Zubimendi is a new player coming into the Premier League, which is so different from playing in La Liga. For me, even like Merino I saw in the first couple of months to the last 2 3 months of the season, it was a huge difference in terms of the player and confidence. I think when he came and played first, I could see
But
that he was not able to adapt to the pace
to
of the
be fair,
league.
he was playing as a forward towards the end of the season, no?
No, no, my point is like in the beginning of the season, I could see him struggling to in the pace of the league. I'm not talking about
Right.
his position, but the way
Position.
he
Hmm.
was struggling to understand the attacking spaces, defensive spaces. I could see him like he was a very big weak link in the beginning, like first 2 months. Because I remember we had a couple of injuries. We had Odegaard injured, so Marino was fast tracked into the team, starting a lot of matches, and he did struggle. But again, that's the thing. Like as he played more and he came into playing as a strike, and then slowly he had that free. I would say he played like a striker, but also played some games as left centerman. But my point is, I could see him adapt to the league better, and like it took him a long time for him to get this suited. And not only him, bro. Like I remember even Rodri when he first joined City, he needed like
Mm.
1.5 to really settle into the squad. Like let's say 2 years, bro. Because
Bro,
I
that
remember.
Liverpool game, bro, he was getting ran. He was getting outrun in that
Yeah,
midfield.
yeah, bro. And I think, bro, like watching Premier League now, I feel like it's becoming more of a running league than
Yeah,
your slow technical players, which would blossom like 4 5 years ago. I'm not saying they won't blossom right now, but with technical ability, you also need that athleticism.
physicality.
Like you need to be able
Yeah.
to run now. So that's the interesting part. I want to see how foreign players adapt to it. And I
Mm.
get the idea for teams to go into the transfer market, go buy players from within the league. And I think that's what okay, let's go to Man United now because I think that's what they're trying to do. Because United, from the links I've seen, okay, they've signed Cunha, we know that. But just not that, from the links I've seen, they look like they're okay. I think they're like, we've done enough investing from outside the Premier League with players who have been unproven and it's just not
Mm.
worked out for us. So let's start signing for players. Or obviously, you can't sign players from the top six because no one's going to sell to each other. The next best
Yeah.
solution is go get the best players out of the top six. Let's say top eight,
Yeah.
maybe even if you want to add Villa and Newcastle. And I think that's what United are trying to do because let's
Mm.
say now they've signed Matheus Cunha. They've been very strongly linked with Mbuemo. We'll have to see how that goes. So you go from an attacking unit where United bought players like Højlund, bought players like Anthony outside the league
Zirkzee.
who really couldn't like adapt to the league. Because you look at Anthony, he was playing so well in the La Liga, which is a way different league compared to a Premier League where he did struggle, like whatever it is. So yeah, Rishi, I don't know. You'll have to lighten us more on how you look at United and where they want to go because even they were linked with Delap, if I'm not wrong, very strongly. So it
Yeah,
looks like
we were,
it's
we were.
so it looks like United want to do more Premier League signings. At least that's what I think. If you have more light upon that, I think you can just say.
Yeah, no, I very much agree that like it looks like we want to buy from within the league because like you said, players are like very evidently struggling to keep up with the physicality of the league when they're initially coming. Because I remember even players like Ugarte, when they just came in, were not able to cope up with, like, the kind of running, the kind of physicality that this league is it's increasing season after season. So I think that is a very strong stance that they've taken. That means you're limiting yourself to a very small market. Of course, they're not gonna completely close their eyes towards the others, but yeah. And uh, for me, my primary concern for United, more than, I mean, of course, we will eventually sign in players. We have a very strong channel of academy players coming in as well. That is always something United have had. For me, the primary concern is how we're going to offload the players with big wages. And a
Mm.
lot of them will have their wages deducted because of missing out on Champions League and European football. And a lot of them are apparently unhappy with that. So get rid of the players who doesn't want you know a salary cut, or who wants to supposedly play in the Champions League, or guys who basically, whoever the new the manager feels like is not working out. Like, for example, I've backed somebody like Luke Shaw for a fairly decent amount of time, till it got to a point where he started offering us like what, 10, 12 games a season. Like, I that is not something which we can place our bets on. We have to have good solid starters. We have to have a good base of a good spine of players. I feel that itself is missing at this point. So first clear out the deadwood. Like, okay, if the manager doesn't is not okay with Onana, fine. Get another player. And we're I think the one blessing in disguise we have of missing out in Europe is that we don't have to have a very heavy squad to begin with. We can play with a decent size squad. We'll have one game a week, of course, except for like December times. Like, it's fine, it's manageable. It's not the end of the world for us. So I think for me, primarily, I want to look at the outgoings, because clearly we've had some fallouts, whether be it Garnacho, whether be it Sancho, whether be it Rashford. So I want to see how towards the end of the window, of course, I hope it's not very much panic signings that we buy after we get rid of players, but I want to see primarily who we get rid of and what our squad begins to look like once the league is about to start. That is pretty much my take
Mm.
on what this United should do or are doing right now.
Yeah. What are the positions you think you need to buy, bro? Because I think you guys are looking to buy another, I don't know if striker,
We
but
They were
I would
looking for a striker. There were talks with, I mean,
say
regarding Gyökeres. There were talks regarding Delap.
he's still there, right?
And
If I'm not wrong, with Gyökeres.
who with Gyökeres?
Guys
Yes,
like
yes. But
Gyökeres, I think even with Mbuemo, it
Mbuemo,
looks like you
correct,
guys want more attackers.
correct,
I've not seen any center back or let's say defensive or any midfield links. I think you're also looking to buy Martinez, if I'm not wrong, to
correct.
replace Onana. So
No, yeah.
yeah, again, bro, I look at this as more of Premier League signings and maybe Gyökeres because of your manager being affiliated with him before. But
Mm.
yeah, bro, like what are the positions do you think like need to be strengthened apart from attack? Like, do you think you guys need more mid? I feel like you need more midfielders than anything
Yeah,
else right now.
we definitely need a good base of midfielders, because I don't know. Casemiro had a good, I'd say, somewhat of a European season last year. Like, he was brilliant
Mm.
in the European games, but of course, he is aging. His legs just aren't there. He can't put in the shift. And there's no reliability when it comes to another midfielder, because Kobe Mino, there's only so much that a kid can do alone, like in midfield. Like, midfield is one position where you can't just freestyle things. You have to have help. You have to have a plan about it. So,
Yeah.
midfield definitely, like at the like a CDM for me will be priority.
Mm.
And okay, if we really we've you know really have to look at it, Onana is a player we've signed recently, so it would look like completely amateurish if we are getting rid of it. But if that is really, because I'm not going to sit and say that okay, Onana is somebody who should get more time or shouldn't get more time, because there have been a lot of clangers from his side as well. I've seen him make
Yeah.
a
Correct.
lot of clangers. So
Mm.
of course you can like there has been a shift in the way we play. Like we ever since De Gea left and Onana came, we're playing a much higher line, for example. And he comes, like when it comes to clearing off the, like coming high and claiming the ball and coming out of the line and charging up, that gives us that extra few yards to play up ahead. So that change is there, but how much are you going to compromise when it comes to shot stopping? Like some of the clangers I've seen, I'm just like listen, this is not okay. Like, so if the manager
Yep.
really wants to go about it, like fair enough, do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel these two primarily, and another left back, bro. But we have signed a young left back who will be joining, I think, this summer. So he should be fine.
Diego Leon, if
But
I'm not
Diogo
wrong, right?
Leon, yeah, correct.
Yeah, but
So
yeah, interesting.
again,
Yeah, but I
I
think
don't
we'll
know,
see.
we don't know how it's gonna be, how to take. That's the thing. Like we don't like again. I'm not even gonna consider Shaw because I'm not gonna sit and be like, okay, he's gonna be there for 2 games. Like the third game, once he's injured, we'll see what happens. So I'm looking for a like plan that doesn't have Shaw, that we have a sure shot left back. So I think that is also a
Yeah.
place we really have to strengthen.
Fair enough. And I think again, bro, I think we can go next to your neighbors. I think City, for sure, they have been playing the Club World Cup, so I think they had to steamroll their transfer window plans. Bro, what, bro? They bought three, four players in the January window because they were struggling in the league, whatever the reasons they had, even though, they had one injury of Rodri, and I think they had a lot of defensive injuries. But because of that,
But it was
they
not;
bought
those
Nico
were not
Gonzalez.
lengthy injuries. They were missing for a week or two, and they were coming back. Like they always had
Yeah.
players.
But
It's just that
yeah, but
consistency
guys
was
like
not there.
Stones, Diaz did miss a lot, if I'm not wrong. Like, miss a lot means they did
Mm,
miss a fair few games in the middle.
mm,
But apart from that, bro, you saw them, they just went casually spend like around 100 150 million. They bought in Omar Mamouche, they bought in Nico Gonzalez. So for them, it was not like, okay, yeah, this is crisis. They bought in two center backs with Kushanov and Victor Rees. And then coming into this transfer window, they've already bought three players. They bought Ike Nouri as a new left back, Ryan Shirky as a new
fine, sure. Yeah,
attacking mid, and they also bought Tijon Reindeers from AC
wingers.
Milan. So it's like they've just thrown money as usual and gotten the players they feel like it works for them. And bro, I was looking at the squad; they have such a deep squad, going into this Premier League.
Bro,
And
that's so ironic. Like, sorry to interrupt, but Pep keeps like saying, going on and on about how much of a small
yeah,
squad he wants. He doesn't want a
yeah,
lot of players. But then you look at, like, bro, Winter. I've not seen anybody go and spend money like this and get the number of players. And
true, true.
nobody, like, I mean, I don't think, like, they get the heat for it, probably because nobody really cares as much about City as you would about the remaining teams, as of yet, at least. Maybe in the coming years that might change, but like nobody seems to have a this one, like, okay, it's City, that's just what they do. Okay, like fine, whatever. Like,
Bro, but I feel like, bro, at the end of the day, you can't do anything. They do have let's say, a manager, or let's say the ownership who wants to build a squad. See, no one's stopping Liverpool, no one's stopping Arsenal, no one's stopping United, no one's stopping Chelsea. To be fair, look at Chelsea; they have like 500 players. No one really talking with them also. So I
yeah.
feel like it's just about. I think it just comes down personally to management. Like with Arsenal, Liverpool, at least me personally, I don't think they can or they really want to simply go spend money on random players and buy a lot of players. I think they usually like, at least with Arsenal, I feel like we need more players, but we've just not bought because I really don't know why. I can't say, but just looking at it, it's more like they're happy to spend more money on quality players and keep the squad smaller with decent wages than someone like City, because their ownership is like, it's okay, we'll go spend money in the transfer window, we'll get whatever players the manager needs whenever he needs it and support him. And bro, I get it, as rival fans, we can always sit and complain saying, bro, why are they doing that? But we're only complaining about cities because our own clubs don't do it. And I feel like
Mm.
that's a sad part, bro. Like, it's like, why can't we also go do that? In all honesty, we do have the money. Like, I feel like every club has the money. Like I look at Arsenal, like they did have a lot of money, they did spend a lot of money at the wrong places. Look at Liverpool, like they did buy a striker for 80, 90 million, and it didn't really work out for them. Even with United, to be fair, if you have to be honest, they spent a lot of money. It's been wasteful. Like
They did.
with Anthony, with guys like Van der Beek, for example, if you remember, like 45
Yeah.
million, and then he never really played. So like, I feel like the problem with these teams has been that when they spend the money or try to spend a lot of money, it goes wrong compared to City. And I think maybe that's why it's just lucky. But bro, again, like I I think the money they're spending now compared to what they used to spend before is different, because before they used to spend money on, like, let's say top talents and top quality players, like, they went and bought guys like Sterling within from the league because he was a real good top talent at that time. Kevin De Bruyne was a huge talent, let's say, like a proper talent coming from Wolfsburg. Even Sane, he was lighting up the Bundesliga. I remember when he was playing, even though he was young. These guys were real talents playing at a very high level. Haaland, for example, we all know what it was. Even Ruben Diaz, he was playing at that point of time, he was playing good football, right? And going from that to what they've been doing, okay, look at let's say the winter transfer window, and now there has been a bit of a shift, bro, in
Mm,
terms of they're not going for those huge talent or big names, which they could have done before, and they did try before, right? Like for even they bought guys like Mahrez, if you just remember. And look at that to compare to now. Like they did get a guy like Omar Mamush, who really had an explosion for half a season in Bundesliga, and they took him because they really thought they needed an attacker because they lost Alvarez. And then
yeah.
I look at the other player they got was Nico Gonzalez. I don't know if it's worked out till now. Again, I can give him the benefit of the doubt because I'm like, okay, I feel like certain players need certain time. I always feel like midfielders, especially deep lying midfielders or just DMs in general, I think they need the most time to adapt in Premier League because it's just so tough to come from a slow league to a fast paced league and
Mm,
showcase your talent. Maybe that's why. But Pep has not used them as much as you could have.
as much.
Even when
Yeah.
when they didn't have Roddy in the last 5 months of the season, Gonzalez didn't play a lot of football. Like for
Gundogan is playing that deep player.
yeah, it was a lot of weirdness. And then, bro, I just look at the transfer window, bro. I don't think it's been the greatest to be like, okay, they're building a squad based on the biggest superstars. I feel like they have decent talents. Even this year, when they've gotten Ryan
They
Shirky,
they even had Kusanov last year. He played a few games and
yeah,
then got,
that's the thing. Kusana victories, bro, they're not, bro, for
yeah,
me,
Victor
bro,
Reis. Yeah.
18 or 19-year-old kids. I feel like it's so tough for me to say, okay, if they're ready or not for playing center back. I've not seen any
Mm,
19-year-old kid center back in the Premier League in my life
very tough debut
playing for a
also
top six club.
for
Like
Kusanov.
you can't name one top six, let's say top five, top six center back who's been 18, 19-year old and played like
Yeah.
I've never seen. Even Saliba, he came into the league when he was 18, he got loaned out. He came back to Arsenal at 21 and then started playing. So it was not like he immediately came and started playing. So I think
Mm,
with those two, it's a coin toss. But the other players I see even this year with guys like Ryan Cherky, for me personally, for me it's a big doubt of a signing. I think it's a big gamble. It can go both ways. I think he has great talent. Like look at his talent outside the football pitch. I think it's huge. But translating that to the Premier League, for me, I don't know. Like I really think okay,
mm.
it's a huge punt taken. And you have to put in context for me, he's coming and replacing a guy like Kevin De Bruyne, bro. Like for me, I think they've gotten weaker than stronger in terms of that. Just losing De Bruyne is a huge miss for me. Like I really think like that's the biggest miss you'll ever have. And yeah, but I don't know. Like is Shirky enough? Like I don't think so. And even with the left back, I think if Ait Nouri is going to be the new left back, I think he's a great player. Like he's a quality player. But then if Guardiola becomes a center back, I think Guardiola's best position is left back, not center back.
Left
For
back.
me
Yeah.
personally, so I think it weakens their defense also to an extent. So
So then
I
where
think
does
it's
Aki
interesting,
play?
bro.
See,
Huh?
because Ruben Diaz is going to play like when he's fit. That means you have,
Yeah,
and John
even I
Stones
would say
also.
so.
What
Yeah,
happens to Ake? Like,
yeah, bro. So I personally think like they throughout the transfer window they will lose a lot of players, bro. Like I don't think they're going. I think Pep is serious when it comes to him wanting a small squad. I think he's always had like that. Like he wants a small squad. But regardless of that, I think they're going to lose a lot of players, like experienced players, because I do look at players. I think some of their defenders will leave. I don't think with the defense they have, I don't think guys like RK Stones, like someone has to leave. Like I don't
Yeah.
think it's makes sense to have so much. And also looking at the other players, like I think their experienced players like Gundogan might leave. I just think some of the experienced players will leave, which maybe this season can be a bit of a hindrance for them because they've lost Kevin De Bruyne, who's such a huge figure, like such a huge figure. Like when they lost Aguero, he was not really a part of the City squad who won their title. So it was not like you
Mm,
losing such a big guy, right? You look at Kevin De Bruyne in the past 2 years. I think he was the reason why City won the title last year also, because he
mm.
came in mid of the season, and that's where they started playing better
They
to
picked
the
up.
end of the
Yeah.
season. And look at the treble season, he was their best player. So you're going 2 seasons with him at the highest level. Last year, Kevin De Bruyne was not at his best, and coming into this season, I mean this entire season, he didn't play well, and you could see City struggling to an extent.
Mm.
So yeah, I think for me it's interesting to see what they'll do. But yeah, but I think apart from this, I don't know. Do you have any other big transfers you've seen outside the Premier League where you think, okay, this is
Who
exciting for you?
who has happened? I think
I think Barca's looking to sign guys like Nico
Nico
Williams.
Williams, correct. And
They signed
Nico
Johan
Williams,
Garcia.
yeah. Apparently, they're saying. I mean, Nico Williams is very keen on that move, and then you see their
Yeah,
rivals are moving in very fast. Who they've
yeah.
signed Trent on free. They've signed Dean Huijsen from Bournemouth, and then one more
Bournemouth.
Franco Must Mustantuono
Yeah,
from
Mastodons too. I don't know how to pronounce his name, so I don't want to just say it. But yeah,
so
he's a
from River
young
Plate
kid
for
from
big
River
money, by
Plate.
the way, around what 40 million
40 million
pounds.
euros. Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
euros. Like 40
yeah,
million
that's
euros.
that's like
For an
that's
18-year-old kid. So yeah.
yeah, exactly. Big pressure. I
Yeah.
mean, they are there. You see, their fullbacks. Fellow Mendy is not that. He keeps getting injured. Carvajal's getting old.
I think they sell signing your ex United player, right?
Hmm?
They're
Oh
like
yeah,
calling for
Alvaro
all the
Fernandez
team.
also.
Yeah. Sorry?
Yeah, Alvaro
What's his name?
Fernandez.
Fernandez. Okay. Alvaro Fernandez?
Hmm.
Is that his name?
Yeah, if
I
I'm
think
not wrong,
it's
it is.
Alvaro. Yeah, but I think I've seen him a bit. I remember watching him play against Lamine Yamal when Benfica played Barca,
Hmm.
and I think he did pretty well, bro, against Lamine Yamal. If
Hmm.
Lamine Yamal, when I did remember, I think he was a guy who was able to contain to an extent because I remember
Hmm.
watching him play and I was like, okay, yeah, this guy's playing against Yamin, Yamal, who had like he was coming into form, and I remember it was so isolated. It was literally like Yamal was on the edge of the touch line, and then uh, what's his name, Alvaro, right?
Alvaro Fernandez. Yeah.
Alvaro Fernandez was marking him at the edge, and I remember he did well. But yeah, I
Hmm.
think overall there's more to come from this transfer window, not only in the Premier League. I think over time, I think clubs like Arsenal, maybe even Chelsea, will start signing more players. And
Chelsea, though they signed Delap already. His debut also. I think against who was it? Who they the recent game they played? No, I think he featured
yeah, I think
Flamengo.
he played against LA Galaxy, right?
LA
But
Galaxy or Flamengo?
he debuted against LA Galaxy, but he also played against Flamengo.
Acha,
He started
right, right.
against Flamengo, foolishly.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't think they've bought any players. But yeah, but I think everyone's going to do more transfer. I think Arsenal will start doing more now. I think
Hmm.
Liverpool, for me personally, I think they will try to buy another defender or another attacker, like a striker maybe. I think with City also, I think they 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 would go for some another goalkeeper. Me personally, I think they will try to go for a goalkeeper, and
Hmm.
maybe I think that's it. Like I think they will go for a right back. Maybe I don't know,
I mean, they
but
have to
yeah,
know who is there. Like Rico Lewis can't
they
keep
they
playing.
they have Rico Lewis, bro. Like Pep started playing. Uh,
Oh,
what was his
Matheus
name?
Nunes,
Matheus Nunes as a right back. So
right
I
back.
don't know. Pep suddenly started calling him like he loves him playing at the left right back
Right
position.
back.
That's what Pep seems. So, but I never know with Pep. Like if sometimes he gets too stubborn, he might be okay with it. Like he played
Hmm.
what was that? Delph at left back for like 1 or 2 seasons. So you
Correct.
never know with him. I don't know. So if they might, I think they will buy a goalkeeper and another this thing. With Arsenal, I think they will start buying guys like a left winger striker, or hopefully another
Mm.
centre back. And then who else? United, for me personally, I think they will go for another. I think they should go for another centre back more than a striker. If you guys, I think if Cunha and Mboemo would be a better option than going for a striker, but I don't know how it's going to work out. Maybe a midfielder defender would be a better investment than going for another striker. And Chelsea, bro, Chelsea league. Like I don't know who they're going to buy. They'll buy every position for the sake of it. Like I'm just done with that team, bro. Like me personally. Like that's
Mm.
it, bro. They have three goalkeepers that are going and trying to buy a goalkeeper from AC Milan, Mike Magnan. Like, bro,
Correct. Yeah.
they have three. They have three goalkeepers. They have like two goalkeepers on loan. They have
On
one
loan.
goalkeeper who's going to be signed for 2028. They have one more goalkeeper who's already. They have 10 goalkeepers in the academy. They're still going and buying another goalkeeper, bro. I just don't get the transfer like approach. Like at a point of time, if you're spending 2 billion, bro, you could have literally bought like you literally could have done a Saudi and got Messi, Ronaldo for this fun of it if you really wanted to do. Bro,
Yeah.
like
We really.
you're spending 2 billion, do that at least, bro. I will support like
Mm.
getting Messi and Ronaldo on the same team. Do that. I would enjoy it. You're getting the most, bro, like random transfers. You said, bro, they're literally treating players as like,
Bro,
as
it's become a commodity. Like,
bro, it's like market trading for
remember
them, bro. It's
Renato
like,
Vega? Like he got shipped off in like a matter of months.
no, he's still back, but it looks like they
Oh,
want to
is
sell
he?
him.
Yeah,
So
exactly. They
they
want
bought him
like they
last
shipped him
year in
off
the
and
summer
then,
window.
huh?
Yeah, they bought him last year in the summer window. He didn't get a chance to play because they have 1,000 players. So
Yeah,
then he got shipped to Juventus.
Juventus.
Yeah, and he came back, and now he's disappointed because I don't think he was in the Chelsea squad, and now he wants to leave. And there's the same thing with the second goal choice goalkeeper who was bought last year,
Petrovic.
like Georgeson. He came in. I think he will leave if they buy a new goalkeeper. If you buy a new goalkeeper, you're not going to keep him.
Yeah.
So it's like you buy a player last year, you sell him this year, bro. Like, bro, I'm for me personally, if you're talking about
Mhm.
transfer window, I'm not going to talk about Chelsea. Like I think last time also I told, bro, I don't understand the strategy.
Yeah.
It's the same thing this time. Yeah, for me it's that. But yeah, bro, I think moving on from transfer, just to touch up on Club World Cup because it's going on, and since it's a football stream and we're talking about football, I think we just need to touch it upon,
Mm.
bro. Tell me, bro, what do you think about Messi, bro? He's still got it, and
Brother,
against a European team, does
right.
he still have it? You tell
Brother
me.
in Christ, bro. I think my college senior was there at the stadium, like when these
Yeah,
guys
bro.
were playing Porto. Yeah, and
Oh my
the best
God,
part
bro.
is he was in the stand that was like where the goal was, like the goalpost was there. So his end, he was like
Uh-huh.
right there. He was like right behind the goalpost when Messi scored, bro. Like I'm seeing the
Bro.
story. I'm like, dude, no way. The
Damn,
one
bro.
game they picked to watch, bro. What a game! What a game! And I mean,
Yeah.
at this, I'm pretty sure you put him in a European team. He goes back to Barcelona. He's still going to be the best player in the world. Like it's
Yeah, bro.
crazy, bro. It's crazy. And
Yeah. Yeah, but
yeah.
have you been keeping touch with it? Have you been watching any games? Because I was personally watching the Chelsea Flamengo game for the vibes because
Mm-hmm.
I can't catch the late night, early morning games for us
Early
because
morning
I'm not
games.
going to
Yeah.
be awake at 6:30 to watch. But that Chelsea game was happening around at either 12:30, 9:30. I don't remember. So I was just watching it. And bro, as I
Mm-hmm.
said that day, bro, like a team like Flamengo coming and playing against Chelsea. Chelsea spending $2 billion on players at left, right, center. They've been buying players from Brazil also left, right, center. But then you have a
Mm.
small Brazilian, not small, big Brazilian team in Brazil. But if you compare it in all aspects to Chelsea, they are a small team in terms of budget, money, etc. They really dominated them. Like, bro, they dominated them left, right, center. Like me watching it personally, you can't if you were watching it as a neutral, you don't know, you wouldn't say Chelsea is the European team, or like you wouldn't say Chelsea is the better team. And I think that
Mm.
shows, bro. And Chelsea really didn't play a weak team. Like they had the main players,
No,
like
no,
the
they did.
different.
Yeah, they had their a very
Yeah,
strong
don't
team.
get me wrong, bro. They had Caicedo, they had their Palmers. Like who are they? Think the new striker played. So like it's not like they had a
Colville,
weak.
Reece James, Enzo Fernandez, Pedro Neto,
No, it was a full fledged.
Liam
It's the
Delap.
same
It was a
Premier League
full
team they
squad.
played.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. They have no
there's no difference,
despite.
and
Correct.
they got, bro, they got steamrolled. Like in the midfield, like Flamengo was so much more stronger in my opinion, and so much more like on the counter they were way faster, they way stronger in the box also, bro. They're jumping. the hell out of like guys like Colville, Chalobah, like with ease. Like bro, like physically they were dominating them, and that's why like Chelsea struggled. And yeah, bro, I think that's what a bit of the beauty of the World Cup is, Club World Cup is. Like, bro, you have teams that is just going and winning. Even Botafogo, like they played against PSG
PSG, yeah.
and they did beat them 1-0. And again, like watching the highlights, it was just like a park the bus classic. Like it's like a performance Mourinho would be proud of, bro. Like they had like 20% possession. Like like as a team, you're going against the European champions. And if you're going against the European champions, let's be honest, they're the best club in the world, not only in Europe. Like if you have to be
Mhm.
honest. And you're able to beat them 1-0 with the small club you are from Brazil in terms of again stature compared to your European teams. Bro, again, bro, like for me, I think as I said before, like Club World Cup for me at least, I think the idea is good. The timing was wrong. And also, slowly, I'm thinking the venue was wrong. I think it should have been at a better venue. Bro, imagine having this in some South American, like, let's say Brazil. Like, I think it would have been a super hit, bro. Like, the atmosphere would have been crazy. Like, the fans would have been crazy, like, going, watching
True.
those games. It would just be
Bro, I'm
so
seeing
crazy.
at least, I mean, so many stadiums are like not even
Empty,
half
yeah.
full. Like it's so
Bro,
empty.
and not even like, see, you would think, okay, a random game, like let's say one of the African teams will be playing some Asian team and that would be empty. But bro, I saw Chelsea game empty. Like
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
literally like Chelsea is supposed to be the bigger teams and it was empty, bro. And I'm watching like a Brazil team, like a Boca Juniors game when they were playing Bayern Munich. Bro, the Boca Junior fans were full. Like it was filled. The stadiums were completely filled by Boca Junior fans. Uh, Bro, it shows that the smaller team fans, it means more for them than like a team
Yeah,
like Chelsea or like a team like City. Because I'm seeing City games, bro, it's barely filled out. Like yeah, I don't know what city.
surprise.
Maybe it's like that for them. It's usual, but like yeah, bro. Like even here, they've not been able to fill up the stadiums. Like two games they played, both of them were empty. Like Real
Yeah.
Madrid, Bayern Munich, I think they're the only teams that been able to fill their stadiums in terms of European teams. But bro, me honestly saying, I think the smaller teams have been filling their stadiums way better. Like if you just look at it like at least for me.
Bro, just yeah, I agree in the sense that okay, US FIFA wanted to promote football and things like that because we have a FIFA World Cup coming up, and of course, I'm sure for the World Cup, the national team fans they're gonna travel in huge numbers. So okay, you want to promote football in this country that like just simply putting games there is not enough, bro. You have to create some excitement about it. Like you have to
Bro, but
create
I
some hype
think,
about it.
bro, I think that, bro, the problem is like the US fans are like not that into European football.
Yeah,
Like I think
exactly.
I
That
thought
as
it
well.
would. Like I'm seeing
Yeah,
more the local fans of South American teams coming and supporting them. Like you're
correct.
not.
Exactly.
Bro, I think to an extent it's sad because they have random, bro. Like on a Monday morning, 3 o'clock they have a kickoff and all means okay. It's a work day. Obviously, you'll get lesser fans.
Mhm.
But bro, like I'm able to see teams like South American teams filling the stadiums at the same timing. So then it comes to a question like, bro, it's not always the timing. It's like, bro, if I get to watch my favorite club come and play in my country, I would I would do all the efforts to go and watch them play. But I feel like for the bigger teams, they have no interest in this competition. But for the smaller
Yeah.
teams, they really value this competitions, and that's what I think it is, bro. Because Chelsea City fans, let's say they're like, okay, bro, why do I care, bro? We just need the Premier League is there. I'm happy to watch the Premier League. Like, why should I go and watch a Club World Cup? But for the
Mm,
smaller teams, it's like, bro, for me, this Club World Cup is the biggest stage my club can play because we're playing against the best teams in the world, and I think
mm.
that shows, bro. And yeah, I don't know about you, but like if you just look at it, like the smaller teams are getting the better fans out there. Like if you actually have to look at it.
Right.
Yeah, bro. Anyways, do you think any shock exits? Do you think any shock exits will be because I think that there's only one more round after like today or tomorrow. Do you think you'll see any shock exit, any big European teams not making
Uh,
it to the
I'm
next
not. I
round?
wouldn't be surprised if I think that PSG Atletico group. Neither of them are top. I think Botafogo is on top, and I think
Yeah,
as
I
it
think
stands,
yeah.
Atletico are looking to uh, exit, and Who else is there? I think there's one more group where things were interesting. I think who was it? Real Madrid, correct. Real Madrid were held to a draw by Al Hilal. So
Yup.
even I don't even
Yup.
think they are.
Yeah, bro.
Um,
Like if you actually look at the Halilal game, also, bro. Honestly, like Real Madrid got dominated left, right, center.
mm,
Even that game, if you have to talk about it, and I think RB Salzburg are the top leaders in that.
yeah.
But yeah, bro, I don't know. I think we'll have to see what happens there. Maybe
But
even the
yeah,
City group, bro. I feel like something can happen there if unfortunately the other teams were good, but I think City will qualify. But
no. I
majorly,
think yeah.
maybe something like Chelsea coming second could be a big thing.
Mm.
What do you think? Or maybe, bro, the thing with Chelsea is they go into the next match. If they lose, they're out. So that's the point.
But
Like
who would they play against the African
they're playing
team?
the I don't know this name properly, but ES Tunis.
Ha, yeah,
So
that's their
yeah,
African team. So
bro, you
I
never
mean
know because
Chelsea
yesterday,
exactly.
if you watch the Dortmund game, I
Yeah, yeah,
forgot the name.
Mamelodi Sundowners.
Yeah, Sundowners
What
were
a
leading
team,
1-0.
bro. Yeah, they
Yeah,
were
bro.
leading. I think they scored the first goal and then
This and they gifted the second goal. Like they
correct,
gifted the
correct.
second goal, and then they lost. They were like 3-1, 4-1 down, and then it became 4-3. But bro, you never know if they really didn't give that first goal, they could have
Yeah.
won 1-0, let's say on another universe. And bro,
So I
like
think
that's the thing
that
with
game
Chelsea.
overall, I think those guys, I think I was seeing on Twitter, they got dominated. Dortmund got dominated. Like, be it
Yeah,
shots, possession. I think these guys properly dominated Dortmund.
yeah, bro. So that bro, it shows like you can't take any game lightly, bro.
Yeah,
Even Chelsea going to the last game, bro. For me, it's like whatever it is about the tournament. However, we said okay, it's for us fans, it's not a serious tournament, or like we're not warmed up to it yet. If you're a Chelsea team and you're going into this tournament, you should be minimum making it to the knockout stages. Like you can't be exiting the knockout
yeah.
stages no matter what it is, bro. You can't say like, bro, I don't care about this World Cup because you're playing your main
150
team every
million.
game. You're playing your
150
main team
million,
every
that
game.
prize money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't just exit against, let's say, lower level oppositions in terms of, again, budget, whatever it is. And then you can't just say, yeah, we didn't care. Like you played your main team, you both matches. Going in the third game, I'm sure they'll play the main team and pressure's
Mm,
on them to win. It's not like they can just chill. That's the point. If they lose, for sure, if they lose, they're out. So that's the thing. Like they have to win the next game. It's like a do or die game. So I think that will
mm,
be interesting. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But yeah, but I think maybe going to the round of 16, the knockout stages, it might get more interesting for us. We might see like shock exits there because it's just a one-off game. So I
yeah.
think we'll keep that covered. And yeah, you have
Bro,
anything else?
there is something interesting about these one-off games because initially I thought, okay, these gonna if it's gonna be again like your two-legged things, you don't know what is gonna happen. But these one-off games are actually chaotic. Like I know for a
Yeah,
fact,
bro. Bro,
like
even the World Cup, if you remember, like you had so many upsets. If
yeah,
I remember Croatia upset with Brazil, Spain also lost in the World Cup. Like you all Spain to Morocco, Morocco
Morocco,
to Portugal.
Portugal, yeah,
Yeah, bro, you can easily find upsets. Like, bro, you can have a random team making a run in this. Like,
yeah,
don't be surprised if a team like Flamengo makes a run like to the semis, like just for the sake of
mm,
because of the way they play like throughout this tournament. So yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I think we'll keep an eye on it. We'll share our views, thoughts as the Club World Cup progresses. We'll also keep you guys updated on the transfer news if there are more you know bigger signings coming in the futures. We'll get onto it and talk about it. But yeah, guys, thanks Rishi for your time. And if you guys have any transfer rumors or transfer targets you like your team to sign for this transfer, please do drop a comment and we'll see how it works for you guys. And yeah, guys, thanks a lot. Thanks, Rishi. We'll see you in the next video.